I have the fleet account for all the Walmarts and the Lowe's in Las Vegas. So it's about, hey guys, Jeff with Top Star Las Vegas. Today we are going to be going over the pros and cons of fleet accounts, and then just some tips and tricks on how to land fleet accounts, different ways that you can position it to hopefully get their business. And I'm going to share that information with you, okay?
How long have you had this account?
I have had this account now going on 6 months. Yep.
How'd you get them, man?
So originally I had somebody reach out to me. They were shopping around for somebody to service their fleet account. So what this is basically, I have the fleet account for all the Walmarts and the Lowe's in Las Vegas. So it's about roughly 14, 15 vehicles that I do for them on a monthly basis. Sometimes some of them are being serviced, so it just depends. But usually around there, they had reached out to me and said they were going to be getting quotes from multiple detailers. So what I do for my fleets, and I kind of stick with this across the board, is the first round of details are my normal price rate. I always go with the normal express detail package. I don't negotiate on that. After the first service, then I drop them over to a maintenance plan. So it's basically the same monthly maintenance plan that my clients would be on. If they're able to get all the vehicles at one location, I will work with them a little bit on the price. So if they say, hey, we can get you 6 vehicles at one location on one day, that saves me from having to drive around to 6 different locations, burn gas, burn time. So, I can work with them a little bit on that. It's not going to be anything crazy, but I pass that savings on to them. The way that this one is structured is they're available anytime from 6 a.m. pretty much to like 10 p.m. at night, and they're open 7 days a week. So they've given me the flexibility to service these vehicles anytime I want during those hours, as long as it's once a month for each vehicle. So that is actually ideal for me, because sometimes if I'm having a slow day, I maybe have a couple hours to kill in between my details, I can just go bang out one of the fleet vehicles. Or even if I want to do super early morning or later in the evening when it's cooler, I could come do one of the fleet vehicles, and it's on my schedule. Or maybe I have a detail that's 2 miles from here and I'm going to be close by, and I say, oh, I'm going to be right by that Walmart over there. I might as well swing by and knock out one of those too. So it's really good to have a fleet account or two. I have a couple of them. This is just one of mine. But it really helps to have that monthly reoccurring revenue that you can count on month after month after month. That's going to provide you with a few $1,000s of incoming stream of money that is going to be there. Same thing with your maintenance clients. That's why you want to have a good amount of maintenance clients. Some people say, oh, I don't like maintenance clients, it's not enough money, right? It's a bad way to look at it, because those are your monthly revenue stream that you can count on. If you ever look at exiting your business, or do you want to sell your business at some point, this is a major selling factor for somebody that's looking at your business. They want to see reoccurring revenue stream that your business has. So when you can go to them and say, hey, I have a guaranteed $6,000 a month reoccurring revenue coming into my business, and as buying my business, you're going to inherit those accounts. You're not just selling them your trailer with a bunch of equipment inside and the name, and that's it. So you want to build up your maintenance accounts, your fleet accounts. Those are going to be a very strong selling point if you ever decide you want to sell your business. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but have that strategy in mind when you're doing it.
So Jeff, they were shopping around.
Right.
How do you feel you came in? Low, mid, expensive?
I can say with 100% certainty I was not the lowest bid that they received. She's flat out told me I wasn't the lowest bid that they received. And a lot of times they are looking for a low price, but that's not the only factor. Most fleets are going to want to make sure that you're licensed and you're insured. So you have to have those two things. Most corporations, big accounts, are not going to work with someone that's not licensed and insured. I actually had to show them my license and insurance for this to get these accounts, 2 of my accounts. They're really the only people that ask for that information. But if you don't have that stuff, there's a liability on them. If somebody, slips on your soap or whatever it might be, they're liable. So they're going to want to make sure that you're insured and covered for those things. So keep that in mind when you say, I don't know if I need to go legit. I don't know if I have to have a license. Do I really need to spend money on insurance? If you want to get fleet accounts, yes, you're going to need those things. I did not come in at the bottom pricing. I never try to shoot for the bottom pricing. I'll usually tell them straight up, I'm not going to be the lowest one out there. But what I can provide for you is I'm going to give you the results that you want. As far as customer service goes, we have an open line of communication. You can call me any time of the day. I'll answer the phone. They know that I'm going to be reliable. They know that I'm going to do good work. One little small thing that I'll give you, it's a little tip and trick that I use to help land the account, is find out who the decision maker is that's going to be the one that says yes or no, right? Sometimes the person that you're working with isn't the actual decision maker. They're just gathering the info and they're going to pass it on to somebody higher up. If you know who the decision maker is, you could sometimes offer them a little something incentive. So what I do is, for the decision maker, who happened to be the person that I was talking to, I offered to put their vehicles on a monthly maintenance program as well, which is not a big deal for me. It's 2 cars, easy cars. And I said, hey, how about I'll include monthly maintenance on your vehicles as part of this. And they love that idea. They were stoked about it. They're like, wow, you do that for me. And I think that one little difference was probably enough. And I know for a fact I wasn't the least expensive. I would say I was probably somewhere along the higher end of the quotes that they got. But I don't know if that's what got me the account or not. They never told me, but she was very excited about it and happy about it. And here I am doing their accounts for 6 months now. So,
All right, Jeff. So tell us a little con about having fleets.
I mean, some of it depends, like the environment that we're in right now. It's a con in the summertime here in Vegas. You're never going to have shade and working in a parking lot like this the last couple months. You're getting all the heat from the blacktop. There's zero shade. So it's hotter here than probably anywhere else. That's really only a factor in the summertime. Aside from that, cons, maybe some type of fleets would require you to do like a net 30. I have this one set up a little bit differently where I don't invoice them each single time I do a vehicle, because that would be a pain in the ass, not only for them, but for me as well. So what I do is, once I've run through the whole fleet during that month, I send them an invoice, and they'll usually pay that within 48 hours. So it's really a lot easier for both of us. You just have to be able to float that money in your business for a few weeks, if that's not an issue for you. The huge pros, I would say, you're right, is they're not expecting these to be like showroom vehicles. If you look at the condition of the Jeep now, all these Jeeps do is drive around the Walmart parking lot for 24/7, 7 days a week. They get grimy. They're not expecting them to be like, super clean. They just want them to be presentable from the outside. They want the drivers to have a clean environment that they're sitting in and not have a bunch of junk in there. That being said, there are going to be different type of fleet accounts. If you're detailing a fleet of limousines, they're going to have a much higher expectation of the cleanliness factor of, like, they're going to be chauffeuring around high-end clients. They're going to want it to look as pristine as possible. So keep that in mind. The different types of fleets that you're going to be doing. Some might be construction vehicles or work trucks, and just factor that into the pricing when you're doing that. So, knowing that a vehicle doesn't need to be spotless showroom condition, you might not have to charge quite as much. If they're looking for it to be absolutely clean, this is what we pick our VIP guests up from the airport or wherever, you kind of need to stick to your higher price points on that. And the reality is some people will say, oh, you got to go in super low to get these accounts. Who really wins in that situation? Even if you get the account, you're doing it for pennies on the dollar. What's the point? You don't want to get these accounts just to be busy, to say I have a fleet account and I have this many cars, but at the end of the day, you really don't make profit on it, right? So it doesn't do you any good to win those quotes, win those bids, if you're not being paid properly for your time. So for me, I go in with my standard pricing, and if they go with me, cool, that's great. If not, that's fine, because I don't want to do it for this low rate down here, work my ass off, and have really no profit in it. It just doesn't make sense. I'd rather go do 2 cars, you know, at a normal price and make the same amount of money. So keep that in mind when you're bidding these quotes. You know, don't go in for the bottom quote. Don't compete for the lowest price. That's just a race to the bottom. It hurts everybody. It hurts the detailing business. It hurts you as a business owner. You know, and no one really wins in that. So stick to your pricing packages, and you know, come in at a reasonable rate when you're bidding this stuff. Make it worth your time. So one thing we don't really got to worry about with these type of fleets, like this particular fleet, is these Jeeps are beater Jeeps, and they're taking a beating. I'm not worried about the paint. I'm not worried about switching out 6 different mids so I don't smear anything around on the paint. These things take a beating. So one final tip before we close out this segment in this video is you shouldn't expect to get tipped on fleet accounts, because it's probably not going to happen. It's usually a corporation. They're paying with a company card, and you're not going to see any type of tip on it. So don't kill yourself trying to, you know, go over the top and do every little detail on there, because in the end it's not going to matter. Hopefully you'll get a review out of it still. I've got a 5-star review out of my fleet accounts for the service that I provide for them, but you're most likely 99% not going to be getting tipped on fleet accounts. So just have that in mind. So we're going to close up this video, guys. Let me know what you think. Do you have any fleet accounts? How did you get them? Like, kind of share your feedback on what you do with your fleet accounts, and if you have them, if you're trying to get them, what you do to try to get your fleet accounts. Or maybe you just don't even like fleet accounts and you don't want to deal with them. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.